In any case, I'll start with some introductions, and then I guess we'll get into a presentation that we have for you. Feel free to ask questions as we go through. Again, I'll start with the introductions. I am Professor Chris Clarkson. I teach in the Department of History, and along with me, and maybe I'll get you to say hi when I introduce you, so that your Hollywood square lights up. I'll do them in the order that I've got them on my screen. Michael Sale, who is the chair of the Department of Economics.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Michael Sale, thanks, Chris, for the introduction. I chair the Department of Economics at the college, so welcome to our presentation.
And also along with us is Priscilla Lefebvre, who chairs the Department of Sociology.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here.
And so Priscilla and I are going to co-present today, and Michael is going to moderate the chat. So if you have questions, and when we have bits of information for you that we need to drop into the chat, Michael's going to be handling that, coordinating everything. And so from there, I guess we'll just get started here. And in this presentation, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about three different things. One of them is transfer to universities. So the courses that you take for an arts degree transfer to university, and we'll talk about how that works and where it can take you. We're going to talk about admissions and registrations, and kind of help you to understand the process of getting into the college. And we're going to talk about the benefits of attending the college, and there are a number of them. So the benefits of attending the college on your way to a university degree. So I will hopefully get this presentation on the go. Here we go. That's where I was supposed to start, so a little hiccup here. Bachelor's degrees. The arts courses that you would take here at the college transfer for credit towards the Bachelor of Arts degree, the Bachelor of Education degree, and the Bachelor of Social Work degree at most major universities. So you can take the courses that you take here and transfer them to count for credit towards your university degree. You can also take any courses that you would take in arts and use them to transfer into the Bachelor of Business Administration program here at Okanagan College. And quite soon, I don't have it on the slide because it's not quite running yet, but quite soon, and possibly by the time you finished a year or two, you could take those courses and use them towards an applied Bachelor of Arts in Community Research and Evaluation here at the college. They're just getting that underway. So in general, most students who start in the arts program here are headed towards a bachelor's degree somewhere else, or a Bachelor of Business Administration here at Okanagan College. And so the next thing I want to do is talk about bachelor's degrees. And for the purposes of an example, I'll assume that most people who start in the arts program here intend to transfer into a university and get a Bachelor of Arts degree. In order to get a Bachelor of Arts degree, a four-year Bachelor of Arts degree, a full-time student would take 5 courses each semester, and there are 2 semesters every year. There's a fall semester and a winter semester, and then there's a summer semester, but it's a little different, so I'll leave that out for now. But if you want to take extra courses in the summer, you can. If you're a full-time student, you'll take 5 courses in the fall and 5 courses in the winter for 10 courses each year. And to get your bachelor's degree, you have to take 40 courses. So it's 10 courses a year for 4 years. And you can do the first 2 years of that bachelor's degree that you might get at UBC or UVic or the University of Toronto or wherever else you want to go. You can do the first 2 years here and transfer the courses to that university. Priscilla.
Yes, thanks, Chris. So the Associate of Arts degree here at Okanagan College is a college degree. And you can get it while you're taking the courses that you would be taking in order to transfer those credits towards your bachelor's degree at a university. And so, you know, it's not a huge effort to get the Associate of Arts degree. In fact, you would be taking those courses anyways. And so it takes 2 full years of courses. And so, as Chris said, 5 and 5. So after 2 years would be a total of 20 courses, 10 a year. And at 3 credits per course, that would bring you up to 60 credits by the end of those 2 years. And in order to get an Associate of Arts degree, you'd have to take some specific classes, right? So some classes would be required. And so things like 2 courses in English, a math course, a lab science, or a science course where you would have a lab to take, and a certain number of courses at the 200 level. And so what that means is there are 100 level courses, which are usually intro courses, and then there are 200 level courses, which may have prerequisites. So a class you have to take in order to be able to take that next class. And if you follow all those requirements, you can get an Associate of Arts degree. And one thing that we would always recommend is that if you find it confusing, or if you're not sure what classes you are required to take, then there are lots of people here at Okanagan College that can help you, including our academic advisors. And of course, you can look these up on the website. And the courses you get for your Associate Arts degree will also count for your Bachelor of Arts degree. So you can get a 2-year associate's degree on your way to a 4-year bachelor's degree somewhere else. You can also declare a major, right, for your associate arts degree. Of course, it's not really a major, but it's more like an emphasis. And the emphases are listed on this slide. So you can see here, history, for example. If you take enough history courses, you can get an associate arts degree with an emphasis in history. Also, you could get one with an emphasis in sociology, which I actually don't see listed here.
It must have gotten removed.
I would be remiss to not mention the emphasis in sociology, and of course economics and all kinds of other social sciences. Now, I also want to mention there are website degree requirements, which we'll see on the next slide. So here's just a kind of screen capture of what you would be looking at when you look this up on the website. And of course, we'll put paste that link into the chat for you folks, so you can go to the website.
Okay, I'll pick it up from there. And Kevin, I see your question there. So while you're doing your 4-year bachelor's degree, you're an undergrad. And so the Associate of Arts degree is a credential that you can get as you're doing your 4-year bachelor's degree. We offer an Associate of Arts degree here at the college. So you can do an emphasis. You don't have to do an emphasis. You can do a more general Associate of Arts degree. So I hope that answers your question. But yeah, you are considered an undergrad all the way through to the end of your bachelor's degree. And then you're a graduate student after that, if you go on to do a master's or a PhD. And if that doesn't answer your question, please ask it over, and I'll try to answer it more clearly.
Sorry, I think I just missed the first portion of the conference. So
sure.
I don't know if Priscilla can repeat what she said, like the first 2 minutes, because I heard that and I'm reading the outlines, it's more like a critical thinking. It's more of a development in terms of sociology and how you can actually evolve. But what exactly is this program?
Okay, so do you know what a bachelor's degree is? A 4-year bachelor's degree at
yes,
at a university. So the Associate of Arts is a 2-year degree, and it's basically like a mini bachelor's degree, so that you do in 2 years. The deal with it is, though, every course that you take for an Associate of Arts degree, you can double dip with. So you can count it towards your Associate of Arts degree, and you can count it towards your Bachelor of Arts degree at university. So most of what we're doing here at the college is university transfer. And the courses that you're taking here, you are taking because you want that bachelor's degree at university. And what we're trying to say, and maybe not as well as we could, is that we offer a degree that you can get on the way there.
So in other words, it's like a bridging, right? So you've
Yes.
done your 2 or 3 years, and then you want to bridge into university. this is just like a stepping stone. Instead of you applying to another college institution, university institution, you just basically use you guys to bridge over to the 3, 4, 5, 6 year program kind of thing at the university level.
So yeah, what would happen is you would finish taking as many courses as you want to here, and you don't have to do the Associate of Arts degree. That's just a credential you can get if you want to apply for it. But you can do 1 year worth of courses here, you can do 1.5 years worth of courses here, you can do 2 years worth of courses here, and then you apply to university. And when you do, and we'll show you this, all those courses will just as long as it's inside of BC, they'll just transfer automatically. And if it's outside of BC, they will assess the courses that you've taken and decide whether they transfer or not. And they almost always do.
So now if I am a college student or university student from another province,
right?
Does it get transferred? Like, can I still transfer those credits to some of these, or does it not match up in terms of?
We do accept, we do transfer from other institutions. So you could transfer into the college as well and bring your credits with you.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
So I just want to mention one thing though in terms of credit transfer, and maybe just qualify a little bit of what was said. Just because you've taken a credit at a different institution doesn't automatically mean it will transfer. Okay, that's really important to realize that. Say for example, you're coming from a university in Alberta or you're coming from a college in Ontario. Then you will submit your transcript to OC, to Okanagan College, and say you took a sociology class at Algonquin College in Ontario, and you want that to count towards your associate arts degree with an emphasis in sociology here at Okanagan College. But what usually happens is, if there is not a pre-existing agreement between Algonquin College and Okanagan College for that course, what will happen is I will get an email, right? The chair of the department will get an email from our transfer credit person at Okanagan College, and they will ask me to assess the course at Algonquin College to see if it is equivalent to the course that we offer here, right? And so sometimes we require to look at it on a case-by-case basis, as well as, say, for example, you take your associate arts degree here at Okanagan College and you want to then continue on at SFU or UVic or another university within BC. Well, sometimes if you take, say, for example, a specific 200 level sociology course at Okanagan College, UVic or SFU might not recognize it as that particular course, but might give you credit for another course because they see it as equivalent to a different course, right? So it's really important then, if you're looking into transferring those credits, that you talk to an academic advisor to make sure that all of the courses you're taking are actually going to be worth something when you go to transfer them.
And we'll be talking a little bit about the transfer guide as well.
I know. That explains significantly. Thank you so much for clarifying that, both of you. Now, when you're talking about the the academic advisor, are all academic advisors dabble in everything, or is it program-specific academic advisors?
I don't know the answer to that. I know that at the small campuses, they definitely do everything. At the larger campuses, they may be specialized.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep. Okay, diplomas. Just to make things even more confusing for you, when you're taking arts courses at the college, instead of doing an Associate of Arts degree, you can choose to do a diploma too. And we have some of them listed on this slide. And we have some more listed here. And if you take courses towards an arts diploma here at the college, those courses also can be transferred towards your Bachelor of Arts degree at university. So what we were trying to do there was just talk about the various paths that were open for you if you come here and you start taking, and you apply to the Associate of Arts program and you start taking courses. Then you can transfer those courses out to university. And you can also get a credential of some sort, a diploma or a degree while you're here. So going from that, we'll move on and talk about how you get into the college and how you start taking courses, because I know that that is often confusing to students when they're applying and trying to figure out how the whole system works. So Priscilla. Priscilla, you seem to be muted.
Sorry about that. Okay, my mouse was not moving. Okay, so just to start with some definitions. And so admission is the process by which you gain permission to study in a specific program at the college. And so here's where people would normally say, I'm applying to Okanagan College, right? To get into Okanagan College. So that's the admission process. So once you're in to the college, right? Once you've been accepted, then you register into the courses that you would like to take. And so you have to gain admission to the college first to be enrolled as a student, right? And then once that happens, you can register into the courses that you need to take or that you would like to take. And so, for example, if you're thinking of applying to start this coming winter, so winter 2021, you can apply for admission now, and you should do so as soon as possible if that's your plan. You can also apply for admission for next year, next year, right? So fall 2021. But the registration for courses to begin in the fall won't open until June or July of 2021, right? So there's sometimes a waiting period that you have to kind of go through before you can, before registration will open. And so the slide shows the admission requirements for the University Transfer Arts Program, and they're pretty basic, right? So BC secondary school graduation or equivalent, or you can apply with a mature student status. And then you also need English 12 with a minimum grade of 60% or an equivalent alternative. So just to clarify, what it means to be a mature student is that you are 19 years old or older, and you have not attended a secondary school for more than 1 year, right? So you would have had more than a year gap from the time that you left high school.
And just to add to that, even if you're a mature student, you still need to have 60% in English 12 or an alternative. And you can find out what the alternatives are. And this slide again shows a screen capture of the website. You can find the alternatives on the website by following the link there. And that's the same link that Michael posted into the chat earlier. So all of the information on the Associate of Arts degree program is there. Again, if you're planning on coming to study in the Associate of Arts program, we strongly encourage that you go and see an academic advisor, because they can help you to plan out the courses that you want to take, both if you want to get the Associate of Arts degree here over the course of 2 years or more if you're a part-time student. And also the advisors can help you plan for university. So it's really helpful when you start at the college to have a sense of where you intend to go to university, because then the advisor can look at the program that you ultimately want to enter at university and tell you which courses you should be taking here in order to satisfy their requirements. And oftentimes I would say, it's more important to get the courses that you need at university than it is to satisfy the requirements for an Associate of Arts degree. So be aware of that. Sometimes the Associate of Arts degree is not your best pathway, and you should just be taking the courses that you need here that will be necessary for your degree when you get to UVic or UBCO or elsewhere. And so, like I say, if you know where you're going to college, that will help the advisors help you a lot more.
Can I just add on to that, Chris, just for
Yes.
a second? Yeah, and it's also worth mentioning to academic advisors whether it's strategic to take an Associate of Arts degree or a diploma, because sometimes diplomas are set up in order to enable your admission to university in a particular degree program. So for example, the Criminal and Social Justice program at Okanagan College is a diploma program. So you take that for 2 years and you get a diploma at the end of it. And a lot of this, I mean, I teach for that, that's why I'm talking about it, but a lot of my students will go on to SFU in criminology, for example. And a lot of those courses in that diploma program are set up to transition you into the criminology degree at SFU. Also, you know, if you're not planning on going on to university, which some students don't want to go on to university after leaving Okanagan College, getting a diploma might help you in terms of your career direction. So for example, some of my students want to go on to be in the RCMP, and having that social and criminal justice diploma will help them to enter that field. So, you know, just stuff to think about.
Kiana, I see your question about your tuition deposit, and to be honest, I don't know the answer to that question. I would imagine you do have to pay your deposit to secure your seat, but I am not sure.
Sorry, I think that, and again, I'm not sure either, but I think the seat is secure, but I think in order to register into courses, you have to be paid up.
Right, that would make sense. But I would call your local campus and find out. That would be the best thing to do. And when you call the campus, you could ask to talk to the registrar's office. I think they would be the people who would understand all the information around that the best. All right, well, the admission requirements, we've talked about that. Talk to an academic advisor. Once you've been admitted to the college to study for an Associate of Arts, then you can register in courses once registration opens. And for example, if you're planning to come this winter, registration is already open. And so the minute you get admitted, you can then go to ClassFinder, and you find ClassFinder by going to the college website, clicking on current students, and there'll be a drop-down menu, and ClassFinder is in there. And then you can start looking at what classes are available, what courses are being offered. But once you're admitted, then you can register for the winter. If you're, as Priscilla was saying, if you're applying for the fall, you should apply now. It's best to apply now, but you won't be able to register until the summer, because registration or the courses are a long way off, and the final plan isn't in place yet. Well, there's a lot of choice once you're in. We offer over 300 courses in 21 different disciplines, different subject areas. So, like I say, there's a lot of choice. And also at the college, I guess this depends on which campus you attend to an extent, but the classes will often be quite small. They'll almost always be under 40 students. So you'll be able to ask questions, you'll be able to participate in discussions, you'll be able to get help directly from your professor. And that's a little different than when you go to university. I was a college student and I was a university student, and I can say with absolute confidence that the college experience, at least for me, was much more personal. I got to know the professors. They took a real interest in me. And when I was at university, that happened over time, but I think it happened because I was a fairly good student. A lot of my professors had large numbers of students, and most of my contact was with teaching assistants, graduate students who they hire to teach along with the professors. Here at the college, you will get to talk directly to your professor. You can email me back and forth if you're in my classes. You can call me during office hours. You can come into my office when we don't have pandemics, all of that kind of stuff. So I came back to the college system. I was teaching at Dalhousie on the East Coast, and I came back here because I wanted to teach here, because it is a very different experience. And so I think it's a better experience. And I think the statistics that Priscilla is going to talk about in a few minutes really show that. As for subject areas, we offer, hopefully sociology comes up this time. We offer a variety of first and second year courses. Oh, that was an interesting one, as is that one. In a number of different disciplines, there's sociology. And just be aware that that if you look at the college calendar, you're going to see all of the courses that a department offers at Amelia. Apply now. apply sooner than later, I would say. It's always helpful. You can apply later though, and you know the college allows people to apply, especially in Salmon Arm and other places. You can apply very late, but I would advise you to apply as soon as possible so that you know that you got in, and so that you can plan. As far as the subject areas crossing over from one to another, you know, each subject area will approach materially quite differently, but they often study similar or the same material. For example, someone in economics will be interested in a lot of the same things that a historian or a sociologist would be interested in, and anthropology, for example, and history often take on the same subject matter. So, or geography and history, or philosophy and geez, I don't know if anyone, well, philosophy, sociology,
and
history.
everything.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, yeah, they do cross over a lot. Anyways, I got to get off this slide because we're running out of time here, but the courses rotate. And so, for example, in history, when I'm teaching in person in Salmon Arm, I'll teach Canadian history every year, but I'll teach Chinese history every second year. So you have to be at the college for 2 years if you want the Chinese history class. But I'll pass this on to Priscilla so that we can move on to the next slides because they have some pretty important information.
Yeah, so Kevin, I see your question on when the semesters are. So the exact dates change from year to year by a few days, depending on when Labor Day weekend is and that sort of thing. But usually the fall semester begins early September, say September 4th, or, you know, after the Labor Day weekend, and it goes into December, say 7th or somewhere around there. And then there is the examination period that will begin, say, if the last day of classes is the 7th, then the exam period might start on the 9th and run until the 21st of December. And then after that, the January winter semester will begin again, January 4th or 6th, somewhere around there, and run until early April. And so say April 4th or 5th or something like that. And then again, there'll be the exam period that will take us to say April 23rd. In the summertime, there are actually 2 semesters because those semesters are condensed into 6 weeks. And so we have the May-June semester, and which we call spring semester, and the July-August semester, which we call summer semester. And again, a full-time load in the summer would be 3 and 3, right? 3 in the spring and 3 in the summer. Of course, you can take as many or as little courses as you wish, but they are condensed. And usually, what condensed means is that there will be, say 2 3-hour blocks per week, right? So it's quite intense. Okay, so moving to the transfer. We've already said a lot about transfer, so I'm not going to harbor too much on this, but just to say that the transfer credit system is a really great system that exists within BC. And so moving around from colleges to universities in BC is a lot easier than, say, in other provinces. But there is a BC transfer guide, right? bctransferguide.ca, which you can consult and determine the specific transfer credit Okanagan College courses receive at other BC colleges and universities. Of course, we have a transfer credit office at Okanagan College that you can consult. And again, academic advisors would be the #1 kind of frontline person that you'd want to talk to if you're curious about which courses transfer where. And as we said, outside of BC, it's usually a case-by-case basis. And so Okanagan College students actually really succeed very well after transfer, right? And there are lots of advantages to coming to a college before going to university. It's a bit cheaper in many ways. It's a regional college, and so a lot of students live at home while coming here. Again, like Chris said, there's smaller classes. You get a lot more personal attention usually than at the bigger universities where you're being class with like 100, 200, even 300 people or more, depending on the university. And so that results in our students having a lot of success. And so if you look at the graph here, the table rather, we see the graduating average at Okanagan College going into different institutions. So for example, Here we have SFU, so Simon Fraser University, TRU, which is Thompson Rivers University, UBC, so University of British Columbia, UNBC, University of Northern British Columbia, and UVic, so University of Victoria. And all of those 3.2, 3.2 is on a 4.33 grading scheme. And so 4.33 would be like A+. UBC gave their kind of percentage average after 15 credits, and then UVic is on a 9-point grading scheme. And basically, you know, our students come out with about a B+ average going into university, whereas, you know, direct entrance, meaning people who come straight out of high school and go into university without using that bridge of the college system, usually come in a slightly lower at a B average, right? So you do have an advantage. And of course, in those more competitive programs where the difference between a B and a B+ is significant in terms of admissions, that can really help you out.
So actually, if I could clarify here, those are graduating averages from university. So,
oh, okay, sorry.
So that's if the students who start at the university, for example, at SFU, graduate on average with a 3.1 grade point average. Students who come from the college graduate with a 3.2. So the college students are actually doing better at university than the students who started at university, and that's really what the table is showing. So it's kind of a nice demonstration of outcomes over a considerable period of time, and actually. The previous study showed pretty much the same thing. So over the last 10 years, that's been very consistent that college students have done better at university than the students who started there. So we must be doing something right, or our students must be doing something right. I'll move through the last couple of slides fairly quickly. At its core, what you're going to learn in an Associate of Arts program is how to conduct social research, how to analyze the material that you're researching, and how to communicate effectively, both verbally and in writing. And I think those are the core skills that you'll learn in an arts program, and also they're really important skills to employers. And that is where we're going next, to careers. This is from a pamphlet that the college produced years ago, and I know it's very difficult to see all the little detailed pieces on there, but what it's doing is showing all the potential careers that come out of the different diplomas and the Associate of Arts degree. And I'll give you a few examples just so that you can have a sense. You can become a teacher with an associate, or an arts program can lead you towards a teaching degree at really at any level. So from primary through secondary school, or at the post-secondary level. So teaching's an option, social work is an option, psychology is an option, counseling is an option for people who start in the arts program. You can go into law and become a lawyer. You could go into policing or corrections, as Priscilla was saying. Librarians study in the arts. A lot of frontline federal and provincial office workers have arts degrees, and in fact, the cutoff for employment in the federal and provincial civil service is 2 years of college or equivalent. So if you get an Associate of Arts degree, you've met the minimum standard to get into the public service. The other thing that I should say is that there is a bridge into the Bachelor of Business Administration degree here at the college. You can do your Associate of Arts degree, so you do your 2 years in arts, and then you can bridge over into the 4-year Bachelor of Business Administration program, and they have it all planned out for you. And I might as well pump them up too. The business administration program here is fantastic, and they regularly go to national competitions and beat places like Queen's and the University of Toronto and UBC in national competitions. The students from here do. So it's a very strong program, and you can get into that program by starting into the arts as well. The BC Transfer Guide, Kevin, is only for BC. So what you'll see there is, for example, if you looked up the Canadian history course, if you looked up Okanagan College's History 112, it's going to show you what it transfers as, what course it transfers as at almost every institution in BC. So you'll get a list of probably 20 different outcomes, and it'll tell you what you'll get at UBC for that course, what you'll get at UVic for that course, what you'll get at UNBC, at UVic, at TRU, at UBCO. And it's automatic. When you're transferring in BC, transfer is almost completely automated. If you go outside the province, as Priscilla was saying, every institution is going to look at your courses on a course-by-course basis and make a decision from there. But if you transfer inside BC, the whole system is almost seamless. And I say almost seamless because I lost one class when I transferred from college to university, and it made me really angry. But anyways, it almost works perfectly.
Did you talk to your academic advisor, Chris, or?
Oh, I did actually. It was a brand new course, and it was the start date for the transfer that wasn't correct.
Oh no, yeah, that's frustrating.
So, anyways,
so my question is basically going back to the BC transfer guide.
Sure.
In Ontario, I actually didn't go to Algonquin. I went to Georgian. I took CAI, but in order for us to upload from one college to another, we need to go through like the Ontario education, whatever portal they had set up. Now, with that being said, how do you transfer, or how do you at least upload your transcripts from other universities or colleges in different provinces?
I know when I moved over from one province to another, because I went to Ontario from here, the institution asked for your transcripts. And so you brought them with you, essentially. Now, back then, it was all on paper. Now, you would have to go through the application process, and it would tell you what you needed to do in order to, I imagine it's all electronic now. I can't imagine it's otherwise, but I would imagine that that you somehow, either on paper or electronically, send your transcript in here, or have your institution send your transcript here, and then we start getting emails as department chairs saying, Kevin has taken a history course at such and such a place. Will you take it? And my general practice as chair is, if your course doesn't transfer, if you take a course that we don't have here, then I'll give you a history 100 or a history 200 level credit, an undefined one, but you do get credit for it.
Can I just also in sociology, it depends on the chair, really, Kevin. I mean, is what I want to say, because Chris might have his way of handling transfer credits. I have my way of handling transfer credits, depending on where we place the bar. And so one thing that would be super helpful for you to do is, the transfer credit office here at Okanagan College will request a copy of your transcript. And for those courses that you're asking transfer credit for, it's really important that you also include a complete syllabus.
Yes.
To go along with those classes, because that's how we can evaluate whether or not the class that you took is equivalent to one of our classes, and if we are going to accept that transfer credit. Because I have refused, maybe I'm not as nice as Chris, but I have refused certain classes because they just don't meet the criteria in terms of assessment or in terms of the kinds of content that's covered. Right. So just give them as much information as you can, basically.
So thank you. I really appreciate that. But unfortunately, I'm kind of running into a brick wall for that aspect of it, because a lot of my syllabuses, I keep all my syllabuses from all my universities and colleges. But unfortunately, I'm going through a separation, and it's actually with that other party. So I cannot get you the syllabus, unfortunately. But in terms of the credit. Sorry.
Hopefully your institution can. I mean, the instructor or the professor that taught you that course should be able to supply you with a syllabus for it. So you might have to go hunting a little bit.
Unfortunately, the program has actually been obsolete, and my professor has passed.
Right. Okay. And that is a real brick wall.
Yeah, so that's why I don't know. Do I have to turn over a new leaf and start fresh at that point, or does that mean that just looking at the course code maybe will help you guys assess? I don't know, in your back end somewhere, maybe you look at dot 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 kind of codes and.
Yeah, I mean, Okanagan College, and I don't know if this is true for the institution that you attended, but Okanagan College does keep a database of syllabuses. So for example, every semester I have to send the dean's office all of my syllabi for that semester, and they keep a copy of it at the dean's office. And so I don't know if your institution would have a database like that, or if they would keep past syllabuses. Or if that syllabus would be creeping around online somewhere. But if, for example, you've kind of exhausted all of those options, it's important to communicate to the transfer office that, like, look, this is my situation, and maybe just from your own recollection, you know, describe what you did for that class.
Okay, thank you
like
very
in
much.
terms of, did you write a paper, you know, what kind of chapters were covered, what was the textbook, that kind of thing.
Right, yeah, no, thank you very much. I really appreciate that comment. And obviously, just to remark on that, Ontario is probably not as great as BC, just so you guys know, because you guys seem to be having everything all up in one mainframe already. Unlike Ontario, the student does everything for themselves. So BC is much better.
I agree.
The other thing, Kevin, that's a relevant fact is often if a course is over 10 years old, it won't be accepted for transfer. So that's, or towards, for credit towards a degree. So depending on the age of the courses too, that can have an impact.
So when I actually went to the college, it was less than 6 years ago.
Okay, then you're inside.
Yeah, so within the next year and a half, if I can actually get my, what do you call it? My transcripts, I may be able to do that, but if it's after 10 years, does it mean that I don't qualify and have to start from scratch for any of the programs or courses that I want to take at the college?
So once the courses are over, it used to be, at least once the courses were over 10 years old, that was a problem. It would be something to look up in the either in the college calendar or to ask an advisor about. But that used to be an issue, and I wasn't sure how old your courses were, so I thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, because our automotive program changed from a 4-year degree to a 3-year. Was it a 3-year or 2-year? I think it's 3 and 2 now. It used to be a 3 and 4. So the marketing was 3, and now it's down to 2. And then the management was a 3 to a 4, and now it's down to a 3, or 4 to a 3. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. So like. I have nothing else to add about that at this point, but with respect to the question on the AP English, you have to have a certain grade in the course, and then it transfers as English 151. Do all the individual courses from the associate's degree have to transfer to a university? Area, all the individual courses, unless there's some kind of problem with a specific course, they will transfer to university, but you can also do a block transfer. And do either Michael or Priscilla, do you guys understand the block transfer system? I think the guarantee is that when you go to university, if you complete an Associate of Arts degree, they will give you credit for every credit you've taken in the Associate of Arts. What they actually transfer for or as those courses, that will vary from institution to institution, but you'll get 60 credits if you do the whole Associate of Arts degree. I think, if I understand correctly, that's how that works.
Yeah, that's a question for your academic advisor.
Definitely.
To know that, you know, if the associate arts degree that you are doing is going to transfer as a block to the university that you're hoping to continue to, because it's not a given, right? It depends on the agreement between the college and the university.
And so it's really good when you're choosing courses in Class Finder, to go to that BC Transfer Guide and look up that course and see, is it going to transfer where I want to go? And do it each time. It's worth making sure before you take a course, because after you take a course, it's a little too late. Are there any other questions? Well, I'll stick around for a little bit here, but thank you all for coming. I hope the presentation was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all in the aftermath of this, you can feel free to contact me. I'm at I'll put my email address in the chat here, and I will try to direct you to someone who knows the answer to your question if I don't know the answer myself. So there's my my email address. And I suspect that you could contact Michael or Priscilla also if you're interested in any of the programs at the college. It's part of what we do as chairs is answer questions from all kinds of people. So I guess that's it for today. Thank you for coming, and again, if you have any questions, you can continue to ask them in the chat, and but we will call an end to the presentation as it is. You're welcome.
Thanks,